Did you know that before they come candies with the letter S imprinted on them, Skittles look like not the nicest gooey dough, and that frozen pizza is baked at temperature of 300 degrees Celsius and even more? The production processes of many products we see in stores every day are far more unusual and complex than you might think. Today's a great chance for you to see this, because in this episode, I'll tell you about a few products which production will definitely surprise you. Let's go! Skittles. It's hard to find someone who hasn't heard of Skittles candy. Millions of people around the world like these candies, and the candies themselves have become quite the meme. I think everyone heard that Taste the Rainbow theme. However, not everyone knows how these candies are made at the factory. Let's fix that. Skittles production begins at the mixing station. Here, 5 large mixers produce 5 of Skittles' signature flavors from various ingredients and flavorings. This stage is one of the most important because it's the taste that's made the candy loved by many people. At this stage, the future Skittles look like gooey dough. This is how it should be because the mass has not yet been placed in the mold. When the mass is placed in the molds, it hardens. Then the mass is sent to a machine that pushes it through tubes and throws it on a conveyor in the form of candies. At this stage, the candies are about the same color, yellow or orange. Now the candies need to be covered with a shell, which gives them that cracking crust. But most importantly, these shells paint the candies in different colors, which makes the entire Skittles package look like a rainbow. Different machines are responsible for different colors. The colored candies are sent to a tank, after which they go on a conveyor, so they're mixed. The final step is to add the S letter on the candies. They go on a special belt, which has something like a honeycomb on it. The candies fall into these honeycomb-like holes, and as it spins on the belt, the machine applies the S letter to each candy. Then the product is quality controlled, packaged, and shipped to stores. Bubblegum. Everyone loved chewing bubblegum as a child, right? And many of you probably still like doing it. Gum is a common and cheap product, but have you ever wondered how it's made? The process, by the way, is very interesting. Chewing gum consists of a rubber base, sweeteners, and flavorings. Initially, all of these ingredients are prepared for mixing. Once all the necessary ingredients for the production of a particular gum are selected, weighed, and separated, they're mixed in a large mixer, where the mixture of the rubber base, sweeteners, and flavorings spends about 40 minutes. The result is a dough-like mass. The dough-like mass is removed from the mixer, after which the machine is thoroughly cleaned. The next mixture mustn't mix with the previous one, otherwise the flavor texture will be spoiled. Then the dough-like mass is unloaded into a special container, which travels onto the pre-extruder and extruder. These machines mix the mass once again and then roll out the layers like a mechanical rolling pin. When a certain thickness is reached, the dough-like mass is cut with longitudinal and transverse rollers. The result is plates that can be easily divided into chewing gum pads. After that, they're taken to the measurement control point. There, workers measure the length and width of the plates. If something doesn't meet the norms, the batch is considered a failure and it's sent for reprocessing. But if everything's okay, the plates are sent to a cold storage room. There, they're seasoned for up to 3 days and hardened. Then the plates are sent to a special machine that breaks them down into individual pellets. This machine is something to a washing machine. A suspension consists of water, sweetener, and flavorings is unloaded into the special cylinder. A powerful stream of dry air removes the water, and the suspension covers the plate in about 40 layers. This is how chewing gum gets its final look and consistency. All that remains is to package the product and send the chewing gum to the stores. Corn Puffs are a favorite dainty of many children. Actually, many adults also like this tasty snack. It seems that the recipe for Corn Puffs has been developed for a long time, but in fact this dainty came about by accident. In the late 19th century, the Kellogg brothers, who owned a sanatorium in the US, made an oversight when cooking a dish with maize flour. In order not to throw the porridge away, they tried to make dough out of it by pressing it through rollers. They didn't manage to make the dough, but they did manage to make some flakes. After frying them in corn oil, the brothers accidentally created a dainty familiar to everybody nowadays. Now, of course, the process of making Corn Puffs has a strict algorithm and rules. Corn Puffs are a foamy mixture of corn grits and water, which is dried. The raw material for obtaining this product is prepared at once in large quantities because the entire production process does not exceed an hour. As for the process itself, it consists of several stages. First, the grits are prepared. Ground cereals are sifted, mixed with salt, and combined with water. In this form, the mass soaks for a few minutes for distribution of moisture. The mixture is then passed into an extruder, where it becomes malleable as a result of high pressure and temperature. After being processed, the foamy mass is conveyed to a perforated mold through which it's squeezed and cut with a knife, giving the product the desired shape. The product then enters a cylinder where the puffs are sprinkled with heated vegetable oil and powdered sugar. Finally, the corn puffs are packed in cellophane bags or cardboard boxes using a special device and then sent to stores. Gummy bears. The traditional ingredients of both large and small gummy bears are a mixture of sugar, glucose syrup, starch, flavorings, citric acid, and gelatin. However, recipes may vary from manufacturer to manufacturer to meet the specified requirements of different groups of people, such as vegetarians or people who follow specific dietary or religious principles. A special machine, a starch press, is used in the production of gummy bears and other gummy candies. The image of a gummy bear is imprinted in a special tray filled with powdered starch, after which a hot liquid mixture is poured into the cavities. It's then left to cool for several hours. After the mixture hardens, the candies are taken out of the molds and packed. The molds have an open top, so only the front of the gummy bears is shaped during the production process, while the back remains flat. By the way, I got an interesting fact for you. Artists developed the design for each gummy bears using gypsum. They even use full-size models to develop the design. After the developing of the design, it's duplicated by the machine. And one more fact, neither large nor small gummy bears made with beef, pork, or fish gelatin are suitable for vegetarians. In addition, pork gelatin candies are contrary to some religious dietary standards. For this reason, Haribo produces gummy bears from beef gelatin at its factory in Turkey, which is not contrary to halal standards. And some of the gummy bears' fillings are even replaced with pectin or starch, making them suitable for vegetarians. Frozen pizza. Making frozen pizza requires many machines and techniques. The dough, which is the base of any pizza, is made from flour and yeast. Then salt and sugar should be added to it. All this is mixed in a large mixer with water and vegetable oil. For flavor, cornmeal is added. The mixer mixes the ingredients for 4 minutes. In about half an hour, the dough is done rising. Then it's passed through a slicer, which divides the mass into smaller pieces. They are moved in a rolling machine, which rolls the dough to a flat sheet, 2.5 centimeters thick. Thanks to the sprinkles, the future frozen pizza does not stick to the surface of the machine, and the rollers provide a homogeneous consistency of the dough. Then the surface of the dough is smoothed by the special brush. Now it's time for stainless steel needles. They pierce the dough to a depth of 7 to 10 millimeters. These holes prevent air bubbles from forming inside. A large plastic roller with several round shapes cuts the dough into individual pizzas, and a special device automatically separates the trimmings. They're later mixed with the fresh dough of the next batch. It's worth noting that the quality of the pizza will not deteriorate because of this. Then the conveyor sends the circles of the dough into the oven. The pizza is baked for 2 minutes at temperatures ranging from 200 to 315 degrees Celsius. The heat inside is carefully controlled so that the dough bakes evenly. The next stage is a meeting with the tomato sauce. It's pumped from a special container into the tank, while watering the roller rotating inside. The rest of it flows down and goes back into the tank. At this point, the cheese is already waiting its turn. Finally, lots of sausages, ham, and other meat products are loaded into a special stacker. The meat products end up on the pizza following the tomato, sauce, and cheese. The pizza is ready for quality control. Workers perform quality control and check whether the machines have correctly measured out the quantity of the ingredients. If everything's okay, the pizza is sent to the freezer, where it spends 20 minutes at just below minus 30 degrees Celsius. Next, the wrapping machine wraps each pizza in film and trims it. And finally, the last flaws and defects are checked. If there are none, the pizza is wrapped and sent to the stores. That's all, guys. Production of which product impressed you most? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you liked the episode, subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and don't forget to stay notified of upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and see you later.